Hey guys, welcome back to a Decadent Fare. Thanks for watching my channel. Today we are going to talk about something that I love. It's my favorite time of year. It is restaurant week. Now, I know that I am doing this video a little late because Houston Restaurant Week actually just ended as of yesterday. Today is Monday the 6th? The 5th? Today the 5th? I don't know. Anyways, I just know that Restaurant Week ended yesterday. So I'm doing this video as a recap of everything that I tried during Restaurant Week, and I hope to get you guys excited. And don't worry, I will be reminding you about Restaurant Week when it comes back around. Whether I'm in Houston or not, I will be reminding Houstonians of Restaurant Week. And actually, Restaurant Week is in cities all over the U.S. There's some in Europe and Canada as well. So go online. Whatever city you are going to, whatever city you live in, whatever state you live in, there's definitely a restaurant week in the state that you live in, unless, I don't know, maybe the Dakotas don't have it, I don't know. But yeah, check out online, just type in your city or your state and you'll find a restaurant week near you. They all have different dates, so more than likely there are actually some that are still going on right now. I know New York's is still going on at the moment, they end a little bit later than us, but something that no other restaurant week can say is that their restaurant week is 36 days long. Houston Restaurant Week is 36 days long. That's a long ass time. You have enough time to go to pretty much every single restaurant on the list with that amount of time. I can't afford to do that, but you could if you wanted to. So for those of you who don't know what Restaurant Week is, actually I just wrote a blog about it, but I'm doing a video on it because I really want to make sure that everybody knows about it. So Restaurant Week is anywhere from a week to a month, in Houston's case, in which restaurants all over the city participate in a program where they all have prefixed menus. Usually they have some options on there, and they have a fixed price. So it's like 2 to 4 courses, and it's anywhere from $20 to $35. So in Houston, the lunch menus are always $20, and then the dinner menus are always $35. And so you're getting a lot of food for a very cheap price, especially for the restaurants that are doing this, because we're talking about restaurants that some people can't afford on their day-to-day life. I can't afford on my day-to-day life, but sometimes I just make it happen because that's my whole life. So I love food, I'm gonna make it happen. But that's why I love Restaurant Week, because that means that if you saw some food that you really wanted to try, or there's a restaurant down the street that you've always been curious about, you can go during Restaurant Week and kind of see what this restaurant has to offer, what kind of food, and get your, I guess, open your mind up to something that maybe you wouldn't have experienced otherwise. So I encourage everybody to go out and check out when the Restaurant Week is for that reason. So I just kind of wanted to let you guys know what I tried this week. Like I said, Houston Restaurant Week is 36 days long, but unfortunately I have been running around like a crazy person for the past month, and I didn't get a chance to try Restaurant Week until the last week. I realized that it was about to end, and so I went to as many Restaurant Weeks as I could possibly get myself to this past week. So within, I think, the course of 4 days, I went to 3 Restaurant Weeks. Luckily, I am moving to a different country soon, so there was a lot of farewell dinners, so I didn't have to pay for all of them on my own. So that was very helpful. The first restaurant I actually went to was Canopy. It's a restaurant in Montrose in Houston, and it was really good. I had actually never even heard of it. My grandma suggested it. I gave her a list because for lunch, the only requirement that she really had was that we go to a lunch that has a 3-course lunch for $20, because a lot of the lunches only have 2 courses. So I went down the list and I gave her a list of all of the restaurants that had 3 courses for $20, and we found Canopy. She chose it. I had never heard of it, but it's actually really good. And they actually have a new restaurant by the same owners called Snooze that just opened, and I see a line out the door there all the time. But it was a really awesome restaurant. It's so cute inside. I love the colors, the decor. It's almost like modern 70s style, modern with a hint of 70s or something. I loved it. I would decorate my house like that. I know it doesn't sound good when I say that, modern with a hint of 70s, but I think anybody would love that place. Anyway, so I had the mac and cheese. I had a vegetable for the first course, and the mac and cheese was actually really light, which I thought was odd, because then I had a vegetarian sandwich for my main course, and that was actually really heavy. I don't know how that ended up happening, but they were all good. It was a different take on these items. The macaroni and cheese had jalapenos in it, and I love jalapenos, so there's no complaints there whatsoever. I did had to add some salt, but that's relevant to the person. The thing that I really loved about that restaurant was that vegetarian sandwich, actually. That's a vegetarian sandwich, and it came with a melon, cucumber, like gazpacho cold soup. That was so refreshing. Like, that's the type of thing that after you go running and you want to go out to lunch with your friends, you wouldn't feel guilty about eating that food right after working out. Like, it's not killing the workout you just did. So I was really just kind of harping over that and taking my time with that sandwich because it was so good. And then there was a coconut cream pie. It was okay. That's all I have to say about that. It was okay. And so the other place I went to was Caracol. I've been to Caracol before, and I don't know, it was okay when I went there last time. It was for somebody's birthday, and it was great. But this time, they really did restaurant week right. I guess I ordered the wrong things last time, but I was very impressed this time. First of all, it was 4 courses. And that's very hard to find, the 4-course menus for Restaurant Week dinner. That was a $35 one that I went to. But it was really good. And then also the ingredients that they use, I know on my blog I actually give you guys some advice about making sure that you realize that if you get something that has high dollar ingredients in there, chances are the portions are going to be smaller. Well, the portions were smaller, but they gave us four courses, so it actually worked out really well. I had a sea bass ceviche. Sea bass is really expensive. I had a lobster tamal. Lobster is really expensive, and that was really good. It came with like a lobster bisque broth around it. And then I had a ribeye steak with some greens. That was also good. It could use a little salt. I think I might just be prone to putting more salt on my food. I don't know. And then I had a coconut cheesecake. Everything there was really great. I would go back there. They have a great happy hour as well. So on top of it being restaurant week, we went during happy hour. So it was great drinks, great food, great environment. Besides the fact that an umbrella fell on me, like one of those big umbrellas that block the sun fell directly on me, but luckily it did not bother the food, so I was good. So the last place I went to was Batanga. Batanga, oh, I didn't tell you guys. Okay, so Caracol, by the way, the theme is Mexican coastal food, so like Mexican seafood. That's the theme of the entire restaurant, so that's why there was a lot of seafood there. Anyways, moving on to Batanga. Batanga is it's a tapas restaurant, but it's actually like more Latin influence. So there's Spanish tapas there, but there's a lot of South American food there as well. Like they have Colombian empanadas, they have pão de queijo from Brazil. So I love that because I love South American food, so I was all about it. I've also gone there one time before, and I loved it then too. So I got the macaroni and cheese. I know there's gonna be a little bit of a pattern that you see with my ordering because I got macaroni and cheese there, and I got ribeye steak for my entree, and I got ribeye steak at Caracol. But I think that ribeye steak, it's actually one of the cheaper cuts of steak that you can get, but it's actually one of the most flavorful to me. I love ribeye steak because it has all of that fat in there, so it just provides a lot of flavor for such a cheap cut of steak. So I think that's why that was being used so much on the restaurant week menus, because they want to be able to give you good food for a reasonable price, because they still have to make sure that they're not at least losing money in the program that they're signed up for. But yeah, so I had the ribeye steak there, and then I had the cream. It had like a cream spinach, but it was like really heavy on, I want to say like African spices, maybe Caribbean spices in there. There was a lot of turmeric, and that was a very different cream spinach, but it was really good. The thing that was so good and kind of blew my mind away and so simple at the same time was that it had mashed plantains with it, and they were plátanos maduros, like the sweet plantains. It was so good. Why have I never mashed a plantain before? I have done everything with plantains besides mash it. So what I'm about to do for dinner tonight is go into my kitchen and mash a plantain and put some butter, and I don't think it needs sugar in it depending on how sweet you get the plantain. So thank you, Batanga, for teaching me that. I appreciate it. And so the ribeye there was actually really good too, and both places did a very good job at making sure that my steak was cooked the way I wanted it to be cooked. A lot of times when I order medium, you get like medium well, like there's no pink at all on the steak, and I don't really do that. And so I always tell them medium rare plus, so that they know that I want it to be cooked to where there's red in the middle and not oozing blood or red liquid. All to anybody. So Canopy, Caracol, and Batanga, check them out. They have really great food, really great service. I have no complaints about any of them. So I'm really surprised. I'm gonna say good job to you guys, because I know this is like the last week stretch of this program of the restaurant week for everybody that was working at these places, and I didn't get any service that made me feel like these people were just tired. Because I imagine there's a lot going on. It's probably a really busy time for them, and so I can imagine that I would not have been surprised if I had gotten the end of the day service from people, but I didn't. So great job. I loved all the food. I will be back. And please, guys, go try it, check it out, and let me know what you think about it, and let me know if you have any questions. Check out my blog, which will give you a little bit more information about Restaurant Week, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.